She kissed her children goodbye, knowing she might never return. Then she boarded a plane with no flag, no uniform, and one final mission: destroy Hitler's grip on France. The invisible legacy. Fake passports, cyanide pills, explosives hidden in handbags. They weren't just spies. They were ghosts moving through Nazi-occupied France. They blew up bridges, derailed trains, spread chaos behind enemy lines, all before the first Allied soldier stormed the beaches of Normandy. No parades celebrated them. No monuments bore their names. History didn't whisper their story. It buried it. But today, that silence ends. In 1942, the war in Europe was going badly. France had fallen. Hitler's grip on the continent was brutal and unrelenting. Britain stood alone, and the Nazis were tightening the noose. Churchill needed a secret weapon, something the enemy would never expect. The solution? A secret organization that trained ordinary civilians, especially women, as spies, saboteurs, and resistance leaders. It was called the Special Operations Executive, or SOE. The SOE searched for women who spoke fluent French, who could think fast and vanish faster. What they found were teachers, couriers, shopkeepers, artists. What they trained were warriors. These women learned how to kill silently, how to destroy railways, how to build a network under Nazi eyes. They memorized codes, mastered sabotage. They weren't just trained to fight. They were trained to die. Each carried a cyanide pill, because if the Gestapo caught them, death was kinder than capture. Andrée Borel was the first female SOE agent to land in France. Young, bold, and fearless, she arrived by parachute and began laying the foundation for sabotage networks across Paris. She destroyed power stations, helped sabotage train lines. She made herself invisible in the city, crawling with SS patrols. But in 1944, she was betrayed, captured, tortured. She said nothing. The Nazis executed her at a concentration camp, believing they had broken a spy. They never realized they had killed a hero. Lise de Bessac arrived in Normandy months before D-Day. Her job? Organized resistance groups, set up drop zones for Allied weapons. She biked across miles of Nazi-controlled roads, carrying secret messages under the seat of her bicycle. She rented a house just blocks away from the Gestapo headquarters and ran sabotage missions from her living room. By the time D-Day arrived, her network had helped cripple German supply lines and communications. The Allied troops had a fighting chance, because Lisa cleared the path. But she gave them nothing. Odette was sent to Ravensbrück concentration camp. She survived starvation, beatings, and isolation, and walked out when the war ended. She became one of the few to receive the George Cross, Britain's highest civilian honor for bravery. By war's end, the D-Day girls had done what no one thought possible. They built the resistance, armed the fighters, cleared the way for liberation. But when peace returned, their stories were locked in the classified files. Their courage went unspoken. Their medals, if any, arrived in quiet ceremonies, decades too late. The world forgot the women who helped win the war. These weren't trained soldiers. They weren't generals or politicians. They were Odette, Lise, Andrée, the D-Day girls. They risked everything, not for fame or glory, but because someone had to. And now the least we can do is remember them. Share their story. Say their names. Let the world know